Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening all around the world, dear viewers. This is Mudassar Majeed, ESL expert and media professional from Pakistan. Very warm welcome to all of you who are watching this live session. At first, I would like to tell you something about this platform. This is a platform where we connect with our esteemed experts and visionaries from all across the globe to explore thought-provoking topics that inspire growth, learning, and global understanding. Stay connected as we have invited Madam Elena from UK. Madam, very warm welcome you in this session. How are you, ma'am?
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Madam, please introduce yourself before our audience so that our audience may get to know about you. That was Madam Elena.
So my name is Elena Stolboushkina. I have been teaching English for 29 years. I help students with English language for academic and professional purposes. Particularly, I help students to prepare for international English language examinations such as IELTS, TOEFL, IGCSE. Duolingo is very popular nowadays, Cambridge exams as well, and others.
Okay, so
So
this is a
yes, I name
comprehensive.
myself as an examination strategist.
Yeah,
And
29 years of experience. Definitely that matters, especially when it comes to English teaching. So that's a really great. And definitely from today's session, a lot of our educationists will be learning from your expertise and experience. So, dear viewers, I just want to tell you the topic of the day that we are going to have under discussion. So, our topic is about IELTS success, answering and the most common questions and mistakes that of test takers. So this would be the topic on which today we are going to have a discussion. So in this regard, the very first question I would like to put forward to Madam Elena that what are the most common concern the students face when they begin preparing for IELTS test? How would you explain it?
from my experience of working with non-native speakers for 29 years, as I have already said, I have noticed one common concern. So most students come to me with one problem as they think they have. They need more English language. They say, as they think they need more grammar, more vocabulary to succeed in IELTS exam. So, but the truth is, in most cases, when they come to me, they already have enough knowledge, enough grammar. Their grammar is solid. They have a decent range of vocabulary, but unfortunately, they still behind the score they need. So obviously, the problem is not in English language itself. So recently, one student came to me, a young lady. If you checked her English language knowledge, you would say she was impressive, but still she couldn't pass the exam. She couldn't receive the score she needed. And after our first diagnostic session, where I always start from, um, I identified that the problem was not in English language itself, not in grammar, not in the lack of vocabulary, but in her performance. So here is the gap. Here is the problem, actually. Knowing language and understanding and knowing how to use this knowledge you already have. They are two absolutely different things. And this is where we always start from. So the proper skills they need to perform, to use the language they already have. But unfortunately, again
Okay,
and again,
that's great. Let me start.
students
Yes,
are
definitely.
worried about. their language, their knowledge.
Mhm. Okay, so madam, let's
Yes.
talk about the speaking and writing video. So, what are the strategies one should adopt, especially particularly that students who will be preparing for the IELTS test? So, how would you explain about speaking and writing video at first? So, let's have a glance on this particular video about speaking and writing. How would you explain the at first when we talk about speaking test? So what are the things, what are the strategies one should adopt when he or she is going to appear in IELTS test?
Well, I would say the problem starts before the test itself. The problem starts during the period they prepare for the test. And the biggest mistake is the students, they memorize, they learn by heart so-called, clever words, clever phrases, or complicated grammar. So they learn by heart those words from those list, so-called C2 level or C1 level words and phrases you have to use. And here is the problem. When they come to the exam with those prepared phrases, those prepared structures, the examiner, they are they are very experienced listeners, and they can identify where the you deliver memorized sentences and where you genuinely uh, share your opinion. And actually, what they are waiting from the students is a genuine opinion and ability to share the idea clearly using your words. And this is why, when, of course, I don't say that we don't have to improve grammar or vocabulary. No, we do have to, but we have to do it in a meaningful way. So when we take a new grammar structure or new words, we don't memorize them. We live them, we experience them, we remember activities or I don't know, situations in our life where you could use this word, where will you use this word, who you will talk with using this word. And then when it comes to the exam, when you answer the question, these words, they appear naturally, but not in the way when they insert these words in an artificial way, and it sounds not naturally. So, but everybody forgets that they don't assess how much you know. They assess how you perform. So, communication skills, how you maintain a dialogue in a natural way. Talking about writing, so first of all, we have to identify the structure, the question is itself, the type of the essay. So are they asking about your opinion? Are they asking about advantages and disadvantages? Or are they asking about problems and solutions? So here we have to identify which structure we are going to use. And then to deliver the main idea, it is important to identify a core idea of the question again, and deliver it in a structured way. So clearly, they check us if we are able to prove our ideas, give evidences, a logical conclusion. So yes, all these factors matter, but not about many students think the more clever words I will use, the higher score I will receive. No, it doesn't work like that. So they check the ability, how you will share thoughts genuinely and in a natural way. And here, talking about speaking and writing, also we have to understand the difference of a style. So in writing, we use a formal style, and in speaking, we use a semi-formal style. Yes, and here again, we have to understand. So again, while preparing, the students have to be aware of the requirements and to meet those requirements, and what they have to demonstrate to achieve this or that score. So it's all about understanding the format and the requirements of the exam, but not just the language itself.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of students these days, they memorize, they cram, and they go and appear in the IELTS test. That's why they do not get the proper band score. That is the main thing. But the thing is that, especially in IELTS test, if you're going to appear in IELTS test, so you have to take this thing in your mind that creativity always matters. If you have creativity, so you will be able to get good band score. If you are not, you're just trying to get, a few things so that you will be able to learn few sentences, few memorize few lines, and you will be able to write the writing test as well as in speaking. So you can do well. I don't think so. So the same way you said is in the same way, similar fashion you have explained the things as well. I'm sorry. My question is to you, next, that reading is considered to be the most difficult task these days. A lot of students, they face difficulty in reading, and especially how do they they're facing time management, and they face a lot of issues like that. They're unable to get the answers and all accurately, and the time passes. How would you explain? Because there are different strategies that are applied when they are learning, especially skimming and scanning and classification and all that. How will you explain when it comes to reading tests, how the students can easily go through from the IELTS reading test? How would you explain it? Because this is considered to be the most difficult module. So how would you make it easy for the people watching this live session?
Well, reading is all about the right technique. So, most students, the most frequent mistake is that they go to a text first, they read a text trying to understand all the words, and then they go to the questions, and then they go back to the text. So they're wasting time, and this is where they lose time. So, and this is the first reason, of course, they will lose the points, the scores. For what they have to do is start from the questions, of course, identify a core idea. So, and here is the next step. Yes, first a right technique, and then the ability of identifying a core skill, a core idea of the question. uh, but again, it is not enough, because we have to understand how to deliver this main idea using different grammar structures, using different words, because they will find the answer to this question and it will be delivered in the text with different words differently. So here we have to develop different skills. Yes. So when a student say, oh, there are three options to this question, all of them can work, how can I identify? It means only one thing, that this student can't identify a core idea of this question. So it's a skill, and this is where we have to develop, because again, they think, oh, I need to know more vocabulary, I don't know this or that word. But they check the ability of reading the situation in the text, in the question, reading the main idea, even if you don't know all the words. And we don't have to know all the words. So the issue is, so the most students, they don't realize actually what the IELTS test is. So we know the IELTS test is required for visa seekers, for university appliers, year